My own mother screamed at me, "You've got 48 hours to pack your crap and get out. This house is going to your sister now." My heart shattered right there, but I didn't snap back. I just nodded and started planning. 2 days later, when my sister strutted in, her face turned ghost white, wishing she'd never crossed that threshold. But what happened next? It exposed a lie so deep, it flipped our whole family upside down. Have you ever been stabbed in the back by the people who should love you most? Drop a comment below if that's hit home for you. Let's connect on this. Before I unravel this tangled mess any further, thank you for being here with me. If this grips you already, go ahead, smash that like button, subscribe for more unfiltered tales that hit home, and comment what part shocks you deepest so far. All right, y'all, let's peel back the layers. Hey everyone, I'm Jennifer Jones, a 29-year-old interior designer hustling with my own firm right here in Austin, Texas. Picture this, the vibrant energy of 6th Street blending with those charming hill country retreats. I've carved out my world, transforming run-down spots into stunning havens. But back then, I was barely keeping afloat, pouring every drop of energy, every hard-earned dollar into what I believed was our family's unbreakable foundation. That old craftsman bungalow in Hyde Park, it wasn't just a house, it was a crumbling relic, holding whispers of generations past, but teetering on the edge of ruin. I was the steadfast daughter, always stepping up, fixing the cracks while others glided by untouched. But hold on, because this story, it dives even deeper into the chaos. 5 years ago, that place was a disaster waiting to happen. The roof leaking relentlessly during those fierce Texas storms, the foundation shifting dangerously in the stubborn clay soil, and city officials hovering, ready to slap on condemnation papers. My parents, Patricia and Michael, they were sinking fast in a sea of debt from Dad's string of botched construction jobs. They couldn't muster the $180,000 to rescue it, not even close. So who did? Me. Fresh from design school, I emptied my savings account, skipped those weekend brunches with friends, and spent endless Saturdays sanding down walls, installing shiplap by hand. Blisters covering my palms? They seemed worth it back then. Dad, he pulled me close one emotional night, tears in his eyes, whispering, "Jennifer, this home, it'll always be yours. You're preserving our legacy, our roots." I swallowed it whole, believed every word. But you see, people often do that. They invest their very soul, thinking it'll secure love, loyalty. That's exactly why so many wind up devastated when the truth reveals it was all a mirage. The real conflict, it exploded like a storm on that sticky Austin afternoon. Mom drops her ultimatum, cold and final, 48 hours to vanish because Emily needs the space. Needs it? For her glossy influencer world? Naturally. Emily, she's the golden child, forever posting those perfectly edited snaps from Barton Springs or strolling South Congress, pulling in deals without breaking a sweat. Her wedding's on the horizon, and she demands the house as her content kingdom. Bridal photo shoots, endless vlogs, the full spectacle. There I was, in the living room I'd agonized over, repainting it 3 times to nail that serene sage green, watching Dad avert his eyes, treating me like some outsider. This wasn't mere walls and windows. It was my essence, my sacrifices. Blood from cuts, sweat from long hours, skipped trips to tile bathrooms. I'd turned down potential loves to grout those floors, y'all. And now, they were discarding me like leftover breakfast tacos from the food truck down the street. If I'd lashed out right then, it would have spiraled into pure mayhem, yelling, echoing off the walls I'd smoothed, doors slamming like thunder. But crumbling under pressure? That wasn't an option. It meant forfeiting all I'd constructed. The risks? My mental peace, my budding business, my core identity. Mom even added salt, sighing, "And Jennifer, ensure the kitchen's pristine. Emily's installing her ring light setup there." It stung, that offhand rejection, like a slap. In my thoughts, I replayed each offering, late evenings scouring for vintage fixtures at Round Rock estate sales, loans I'd shouldered to upgrade the HVAC, banishing those sweltering summers. To them, I was merely the servant, not kin. My therapist, she later labeled it enmeshment wounds. When you're the eternal fixer in a broken dynamic, you lose sight of your own value. But pause here, this is merely the foundation. The true revelation, it's brewing. That evening, isolated in the bedroom I'd crafted with custom shelves, a pivotal choice confronted me. Plead and fight for scraps? No, that would chain me forever. Instead, reverse the narrative. Seize back what's mine in a manner they'd never anticipate. I recalled a book I'd snagged at Book People in downtown, Boundaries for Badass Women. It preached severing poisonous bonds, and suddenly clarity hit. Why scramble for crumbs when I could command the feast? My fresh objective, withdraw with grace, yet ensure they sensed the emptiness profoundly. No longer the unseen adhesive. If they craved my absence, so be it, but I'd extract my spirit along the way. Their first blunder? Dismissing my intelligence. I skipped the moving van call. Instead, I dialed my trusted salvage team from prior renovations, the pros who extract from upscale projects with precision. "Hey, Carlos," I murmured into the receiver. "I have got a personal project. Complete removal. Anything I funded or fitted, it disappears." He paused, chuckling softly. "You certain, Jen? This feels intensely personal." Absolutely it was. Across those 48 hours, I drifted like a specter through the halls, marking pieces with blue tape as Mom fluttered about, measuring for Emily's style enhancements. She overlooked it all, too engrossed in her Pinterest boards. The team arrived stealthily, shadows in the dusk. We avoided destruction, we deconstructed meticulously. That reclaimed wood mantle from a Fredericksburg barn hunt vanished. The quartz surfaces I'd negotiated fiercely for, hoisted away. Intelligent fridge, exquisite Italian taps, gone in a flash. Even the bespoke door handles I'd bid on eBay for weeks. We replaced them with bargain bin basics from the local hardware spot. By the end, the structure was barren, wires dangling exposed, walls marred, floors resounding hollowly like a grave. But wait, this escalates wildly. I let the keys fall onto the stark floor, that solitary clink, so conclusive, and drove away, refusing to glance rearward. I headed to an inviting Airbnb in East Austin, requested Torchy's tacos via delivery, and luxuriated in a bath, free from fretting over the temperamental pipes I'd mended repeatedly. Liberty. It savored like fresh queso, y'all. Later, reactivating my phone, a barrage. Mom's missed calls, 22. Dad's, 15. Emily's messages, furious. "You wrecked my aesthetic. Restore it immediately." Dad's voice message, trembling. "Jennifer, this amounts to vandalism. You're pilfering our assets. Authorities are en route." They mourned not my departure. They raged over the lost luxuries. That's the snare. Acclimatized to exploitation, and asserting limits feels like treachery to them. The surge intensified the following dawn. A lawsuit delivered harshly at my temporary haven. Property damage, theft claims, distress inflicted, seeking $220,000. Fear gripped me. Had I exceeded bounds? Fixtures integrate legally with the estate once affixed, correct? Dangers amplified. Incarceration, financial ruin, my company standing demolished. Failure here would shatter my essence. Yet here's a milestone. Their second error, avarice clouding judgment. I contacted my college confidant, Riley, a formidable estate attorney downtown overlooking Lady Bird Lake, who'd managed Grandma Sophia's estate. "Bring everything," she instructed crisply. We pored over documents in her office like detectives unearthing relics. each bill, chandeliers from Dallas bids, marble from quarry packs, evidence of my sole funding. Then, Riley discovered treasure amid ancient folders, a quitclaim deed dated 5 years prior. Memory flooded. Parents frantic over Gad's supplier litigation. Funds locked, they implored me to provisionally assume ownership as a family safeguard. Mere formalities, Jen, will amend it promptly. Yet, they neglected it, too miserly for reversal costs. Riley's grin, predatory. Darling, you're no renter, you're the proprietor. They've squatted in your domain. Revelation struck. For years, I'd enhanced my own asset, them lounging gratis like presumptuous visitors. The shift in power? Thrilling. Why overlooked? Swallowed by devotion. But that boundaries tome? It ignited the urge to probe further. Riley's guidance solidified it. Decision juncture. Correspondence or confrontation? Face-to-face, obviously. Emily's rehearsal loomed, Mom boasting online about hasty stagers converting the void into nuptial enchantment. I arrived at the Hyde Park locale, my locale, accompanied by Riley and 2 deputies from Travis County. Vehicles clogged the drive, Salt Lick BBQ caterers, florists, soft loan blooms, parents on the veranda exuding false victory. Dad noticed first, charging down. What in blazes, Jennifer? Post your antics, now trespassing? I'll summon removal. Emily, clad in bridal loungewear, bellowed from the entrance. She's wrecking it anew, Dad! Expel her! I remained resolute, heels echoing on the pavement I'd resurfaced, extracted the authenticated deed. No, Dad, you conveyed this to evade your chaos, skipped reversion due to fee aversion. Presented it. His complexion paled, gaze fixed on his mark, the seal. Mom howled. Absurdity! We're blood! You can't! Deputies verified. Your signature, sir? He muttered affirmation. Then depart. Proprietor's directive. I mirrored Mom's phrase. 48 minutes allotted. Gather and exit. Pandemonium, attendees scattering, Emily weeping over her demolished content. The ceremony relocated to a shabby motel along I-35. Ambience, dismal. But linger, the sentimental reward? Immense. I released the house, too tainted, sold swiftly in Austin's fervent market, reaped substantial gains from my improvements, invested in amplifying my enterprise, Jones Revived Designs, honoring Grandma Sophia, the sole unconditional lover. Parents pursued litigation anew, dismissed outright. They retreated to a tight suburban unit. Prestige crumbled. Emily seized contact, a concealed boon. Now, from my fresh workspace, gazing at the Colorado River, I'm no mender. I'm the architect, forging realms on my conditions. Dear all, tell me how you felt my story in the comments, and subscribe so you don't miss these interesting raw stories.